So, okay, first story that I'm going to talk about. So, in my life, I've had so many random, weird, crazy things happen to me. I'll dive in. I'm going to mention a few things, and I'll dive into the actual story later. But like one time, I had a girl grab my vision and bring it back up to her, like a wizard or something. I had a girl, an ex-girlfriend that she and I and another mutual friend were experimenting with trip or dimethyltryptamine. And we had an experience where we woke her up too soon and we were talking to, I'm pretty sure, like the essence of God or some being that was taking her place while she was off in the ether. That was incredible. And so anyway, I've had all these really random, crazy experiences. And one of them that I thought is just kind of a fun little story to share. I worked at a warehouse back when I was like, I don't know, 20. So this is 20 years ago, which would have been 2-3-ish. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was just a dumb 20-year-old that dropped out of college and had no clue what was going on. I was playing in the metal band, and the long-time girlfriend of the guitar player hired me at her logistics company. And at first I was processing rebate claims for HP printers. And then I was moved out into the warehouse, and I was working with this guy named Ryan. And Ryan said he had this unique ability, or not, I don't even know if it was an ability, but like a curse maybe, or some kind of phenomenon that was specific to him, and specifically to him whenever he would throw something. He said, whenever I throw stuff, randomly in a conversation, he said, whenever I throw stuff, something weird always happens. And I was like, what do you mean something weird always happens? He was like, well, watch, check this out. And so at the warehouse, we were housing a bunch of promotional merch for a bank. And they had like keychains and pens and notepads and stuff like that. And another item that they have was these little tiny plastic footballs. They're about yay big. They're, you can hold them like this. I'm sure we've all seen them. And it's got the bank brand on there. And so they were giving those things out for like new customers or whatever. And so we would warehouse those, and then they would order them from us, and we would go and, replenish their supplies whenever they got low on that merch. So he grabs one of those little footballs, and this is a huge warehouse that we're standing in. And then on the far end of the warehouse, like, I don't know, 1,000 feet, okay, maybe not 1,000 feet, but like 300 to 400 feet on the far end of the warehouse is a section of the warehouse that's being utilized for like an engineering company. And they have little tiny pieces and parts, but they're very specific because it was for something, I don't know what, but something very sophisticated in terms of engineering. And so they had this whole shelf system that was up above of the ground floor. But it was all open air, so you could see right into it. And so they had all these kind of shelf parts on there, or all these parts on the shelves in there. So he grabs the football, and he throws it towards those shelves up there. And so here are the shelves, and the ball is traveling this way, the football, in like a perfect spiral. And the second that it gets to the shelves, it's going this way, and then suddenly it was just going like, it was just bouncing vertically between two shelves. So like, and he hucked this thing and it was flying. It just went, I just was standing there like, what in the hell just was that? He was like, see, it's like always something weird always happens whenever I throw stuff. It was the craziest thing. And then actually that just made me remember another story involving a football getting thrown. So many, many years later, I'm in Pasadena, California with my buddy James. We were in music school together. We were both drummers in the same class. And one night we went out to go get some Del Taco, which was our favorite. And so we go through the drive-through. We're sitting in the parking lot, and this is in Pasadena on Lake in Colorado, if you know the area. And so Lake Street coming down is like, it's got to be 6-7 lanes. I think it's 3 on each side plus a suicide lane in the middle. So I think it's 7 lanes. It's just a huge road. It's a main vein from Altadena to get down to Pasadena and, get to the 210 and all that kind of stuff. So LA traffic is crazy. So we're sitting in the parking lot and we're facing that road, and it's at night. It's dark. So, this is when the witchcraft comes out, the unsavory folk. And so there is this guy. So there's a bus stop on the far side of the street, and it's one of those little like shell bus stops on the far side. And then we're sitting on the near side in the parking lot. And there's this guy who looks, homeless or just not very well-to-do, and he doesn't look like he's in good shape. And he's got a football. And we're sitting there eating, and I'm watching this guy, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing with a football? And my buddy James goes, watch. He's going to come over here. He's gonna stand on the sidewalk, and then he's gonna throw the football into the bus stand, the bus thing, the bus stop shell. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? He's gonna throw it across the street when there's a break in the traffic. It was late at night, so there wasn't that much traffic, but there was enough that he had to wait for the cars to get out of the way. Crazy. But sure as shit, he takes the crosswalk, crosses the street, comes over like almost right in front of us on the sidewalk, and then he waits for a moment, and then he throws the football right into the bus shell. And then he walks back over there, grabs the football, does it again. And I was like, and I looked, and I was like, how did you know he was going to do that? And he was like, I knew he was going to do that because I've seen him do it before. And I was like, oh man, you had me, you played me good there. I thought you were just like predicting the future. And he played it that way too for a minute, but he had to fess up. So anyway, so those are the weird stories or the weird things I've experienced with the coworker Ryan just saying like weird shit happens when I throw stuff, and he was right. And then my buddy James totally played me on that one.